there's no free time. It's all blocked off.
Yeah.
That's the point, babe.
Yeah. If you want to get on my calendar, you're going to have to send me an email. No.
You're the schedule. Maybe we can have a Zoom
At least
session.
a week in advance.
Yes. I got to pencil you in. Actualization is the highest level of psychological development in the complete realization of one's full potential.
In this podcast, we talk about productivity, health, and mindset to help you reach your full potential and actually actualize.
I'm Paige.
I'm Sydney.
Let's get to it. Hello, Sydney.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Drinking my coffee.
Yes. Thanks for this magical brew this morning.
It's like fancy beans ordered from Nicaragua, and then Jimmy like roasted them. And so they were green, and then you roast them in a popcorn maker type thing, an air popper.
Interesting.
So,
fresh.
Fancy coffee this morning.
Yeah.
So, how's it been going?
Good. Back to work. So back in the routine after break. So.
Yes, it's kind of hard getting back into a routine sometimes, huh?
Yeah, but it actually felt really good to get back. I feel like I missed it, especially my morning routine.
I know. Remember over break?
Yeah.
I Marco Polo'd her, and I was like, I kind of miss our mornings because we check in with each other every morning.
And I was like, sorry, I'm not getting up at 5 when I don't have to. Or when I'm not going to work, you know.
My body just like, I'm up.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have that yet.
You keep doing it. You're going to.
Yeah.
You're going to.
I mean, I was still like, whenever I would wake up and I didn't have like something I needed to go do, I would still like go through the motions of my routine, but it hits different when the sun's not up.
It does. It really does. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of getting back on schedule and on track, we figured we should talk about time blocking.
Yeah. The secret, the key.
That's the key. That's the key to fitting in all the things. So for people just tuning in who don't know who we are, I'm Paige.
I'm Sydney.
And I was a teacher for years and in leadership, but now I actually have my own business. And so I use time blocking to manage my business as well as make time for my family. I have 2 kids and a husband. How do you use time blocking?
I am a teacher, and so I definitely use it in my day as a teacher to maximize planning time and things like that. And then I have more recently started using it at home just for my personal use of time, just to get all the things done and to make sure I'm making time for myself too.
Yeah, that's what I like about time blocking because I feel like you can use it for anything. It's for anyone. It's not for someone who only is into productivity and entrepreneurship. Like it's for, you can use it for making sure your house is getting cleaned, or you can use time blocking to schedule in self-care, which we'll talk about. But time blocking really is for everyone, and we only get so many hours in this day and in our life, and so why not maximize them? And time blocking lets you do that. So
exactly,
let's get into it.
So I think first you just need to make a list of all the things that you need to do. Go ahead and write that down.
Yep.
Just get it all out of your brain, even like the little things.
And like even the things that are in the back burner that you have been putting off, and to just get that on a list.
Exactly.
I like to categorize them then. So, yes.
Of course you do.
So then you can categorize all the different things that you need to do. I don't know, you kind of like chunk them, put them in their own little boxes. And I like to do that because, especially for me, if I have a lot going on, I can get really overwhelmed quickly. So if I'm just focusing on one box, and I know like this is the box that I'm focusing on with these tasks, I'm not even going to worry about that right now because that's not.
Right. And you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because you've already scheduled another time that you're going to do that.
Exactly.
So you don't have to be thinking about, oh, I really should be working on something else right now.
So, number 1, make a list and then categorize that list if you feel so inclined.
Yes. And then you're going to look at what your schedule looks like for the day, whether that's your time that you have at home or whether that's at work, or if that's the same for Paige, work and home is the same. But you schedule out your time where you're going to fit those tasks in.
This is what makes me, I feel like, have a hard time. I tend to want to schedule in way more things than I can do in a time block. I am like the quintessential, like, think I can do everything. And then...
Yeah, but then you get so frustrated with yourself that you can't get it done.
I know. And then I feel like I've failed. But it's like, no, like, normal people can't build a whole website in one day. Like, that's just
Why was that on the list?
Like, why was that so...
Like, maybe one part of the website would be more realistic.
Yeah, or even, like, that's what I'm saying. Really tear your tasks apart.
Yes.
So, if it's a website, you want not just do a page on the website, even go deeper in writing the copy, like writing it out on a Google Doc, like just really sectioning it, getting it deep into there, so you know all the different parts that go into the task. Because that's what I have a hard time doing. I have these grand ideas. I get these ideas, but then I don't think about all the things that go into doing that idea. And so once you start time blocking and listing out and categorizing it, it really helps you know how much time you actually need to block out for that.
Exactly. And I mean, it's going to take some time, like, especially for you with your new business and stuff, you weren't really sure like how long things were going to take to do. So it's not like you're going to be perfect at it the first time.
I know.
But you learn, live and you learn, and then you kind of start making like more realistic time blocking tasks for yourself.
For me, at least, if I'm saying I'm not having enough time in my day to spend at a straight block of time doing work, getting things done, you can switch it up. So, for example, I switched up when I was going to the gym because I was going in the middle of the day, and I just realized the way that my time blocks were working out, it kind of cut my concentration, like that steady flow, because I was like stopping work to go work out and then to come back, which it's good sometimes. That's what I love about time blocking. You can switch it up.
If it's not working for you that day, you just move it around.
Yeah, but so I moved it to the morning, and so I loved that.
Yeah, I kind of did similar with the working out too. Like, I was always working out in the evenings, like after work, just because I felt like I had more time. I didn't have to be rushed or anything like that. But then I started noticing, like, then by the time I got done working out and making dinner and all of the things, I just didn't have like any time like to do anything else, because then I'm like, oh, now it's already like this late. And so building that time in the morning has really helped free up my evenings to, that way that never got pushed off the list of things to do.
Yeah. Because I was starting to push off my workouts, which when I first started my workout journey, I was like, so I did not miss a workout, which there's a time and a place in a season to be like that. And, but I found that if I did my workouts in the morning, then there's no
way they're going to get pushed off. Yeah.
And it's also just deciding what in your day, like what in your time do you really is a non-negotiable, non-negotiable. Like, what are your non-negotiables for the things that you need to schedule? So what are for you? Like, I don't know, we didn't plan this, but what are your non-negotiable?
Well, definitely working out for sure. And I mean, we take rest days, but like still getting some type of movement in, because you're just used to having that time for yourself, I feel like. And then I really I'm loving the gratitude that I'm doing in the morning. And it's like I just require 5 minutes of myself. So even the days I don't feel like it, I'm like, you can write for 5 minutes.
Right.
And then I really am enjoying my personal development reading time that I have built in for myself in the morning. So that's become a non-negotiable.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
For me, working out, for sure, it's a non-negotiable. My mental health, my physical health, I know what I need to do for my body to be my best self, and it's working out. So that's definitely a non-negotiable. Also, that time after around 7 o'clock, it's kind of a non-negotiable. I might check my email here and there, but that's my time to make dinner and be present with my family and be around them and spend time and just check in. We might not all be hanging out together and, doing something together, but just making sure I'm around and available, not holed off in my office working. So that family time is definitely non-negotiable. Also, just keeping track of what I'm doing. And so this is a new non-negotiable, but I started bullet journaling. So I want to make sure that every day I'm writing down my day, what I did, crossing off tasks. We can get into this deeper. It's kind of fun. It's been like a creative outlet for me, but just reflecting, making sure, that's what I'll say. Yeah. Reflecting, making sure I'm doing that. And I'm going to use my bullet journal to do that.
Awesome. I love that. I know you're really excited about that bullet journal.
Girl, I'm so excited. For the viewers, I just want to show my favorite page because this has to do with time blocking.
Yeah.
Making a list of all the things that you need to do and categorizing it. So sorry for those listening, but if you're viewing, you can see, and you can't really see the labels, but I have, freelance work, stuff for my doctoral work, and adjunct teaching and miscellaneous, and then I can put that into my Google Calendar. So that brings us to the next part.
Google Calendar.
Yes. So what do you use to time block Google Calendars?
Well, Paige told me that she used Google Calendar, so I'm like, okay, let me look into this because I wasn't really using. I have like my paper planner at school that I use, but I wasn't using that at home. And so I was just making like literally in my notes like a bullet to-do list, but it wasn't time blocked.
Right.
So I got the Google Calendar app and in there it was actually really cool. You can make reminders, tasks to be completed, and then you can also set goals.
Ooh.
And so they have a really cool goal section too. There's like all these different ones. So of course you can do one for like physical activity. So that's where I put my working out one. And then it's like things that you just like want to do every day, like cooking, like a hobby or something like that.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's only on the app. It's not on the desktop.
So when you put it, so is it like a goal that you want to complete that day?
You can set it. You can set it for how many days a week you want it to go, and then Google actually like sets the time in there for you. They're like, let me find a time in your day where this would work. What? And then of course you can like adjust it and everything, but then Google like starts picking up on your habits. Like it's picking up that I'm like doing gratitude at 5 a.m. every day. So then it just like automatically schedules it like that for me. And then of course I can always adjust it if I want to.
That is amazing.
And then it gives you different like ideas too. Like, do you want to be more organized? Yeah. So it like gives you ideas of like things that you could schedule in there. And so, however, I will say this is kind of embarrassing. I didn't realize that my Google Calendar was shared with Patrick, my fiance. So he got on the calendar, like he doesn't check the calendar very often, but one time he was like, what is all of this? He's like, why do you have all this stuff going on every day? I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could see that.
I think that's really funny because I share my Google Calendar with my husband.
Yeah.
And he commented, he's like, babe, there's no time blocks in there for me to, because he wanted to see my schedule so he knew when he could like message me or when I had free time. He's like, there's no free time. It's all blocked off.
Yeah.
That's the point, babe.
Yeah. If you want to get on my calendar, you're going to have to send me an email. No.
You're the schedule. Maybe we can have a Zoom
At least
session.
a week in advance.
Yes. I got to pencil you in.
So, yeah, it was really hard for me to explain to him because he's not on that track. But I was like, you know what? This is really helping me. So just ignore it. Just delete it off your phone. Okay?
I bet he was like, what
He was,
in the
yeah,
world?
now he loves showing people.
I'm sure. Oh, I love Patrick.
But you know what? If it works for me, I don't care.
And it really does work. It's successful people block their time. They
Yeah.
keep track of their time. They're very cognizant of it because it's all you have. How you're spending your time is going to be a reflection of where you are in your life and your success.
Right.
So why not organize it and be intentional? That's another thing. Even if you don't follow your schedule, your time block exactly to the letter, to the T, and you have to shift up some things, that's okay, because being intentional about your schedule and just thinking about being productive, it makes you more productive. You're putting that energy out there.
And you're doing more than you, even if you didn't get everything done, you're doing more than you would have done if you didn't do it at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
So getting out of that like all or nothing mentality
Yes.
too, of like saying, well, I don't have time to do all of this, so I just won't do any of it.
That can get you real caught up.
What I also really like is with the Google Calendar, if you are looking at like the week view, then if you didn't get something that done, oh, let me just drag and drop this to the next day.
I love dragging and dropping.
Something about that drag and drop.
Yes, it's like, oh, we just gonna move that over here.
And then there, of course, when you click that little mark is
Ooh,
done,
and
and it crosses
Yes!
it out. So satisfying.
Love it, love it. I'm really excited to use Google Calendars in conjunction with my bullet journal.
Yeah.
What I want, because I love the app, or I haven't done the app, but I love the website. Sorry, I love the website and the desktop version, but I want to check my schedule like right before bed so I can set that intention, but I don't want to be on my laptop or even my phone right before bed. So I'm excited to use this in conjunction.
So I feel like time blocking is the answer to those. Whenever you look at people and you're like, how did they get all this stuff done? Like, how are they doing that? That was me with Paige, because Paige was like just getting all this stuff done, and like she started her doctorate. She was like, that was back when you were still teaching, and I was like, how is she doing? And then you were working out, and I'm like, she's not missing that. I'm like, how is she doing all of that? So can you just explain like how that started for you?
So before I had started time blocking, I was just doing what I was the norm for me, which works out, but it's not the best. It's just to like fly by the seat of my pants and spend hours doing a thing and getting it in last minute and just kind of, I mean, it worked. I'm a hustler. I can do it, but it's like not the best. And I think it was when I realized I was spending my entire Saturday. So this was back before pandemic time, everyone was in school, everything, so I was going to a job, I was spending my day there. And then on the weekends, instead of being able to hang out and really be present with my family, I was spending my whole day on my computer, but like trying to be out in the living room, but really be on my computer writing and trying to get stuff done. And it's like, this isn't working. Like, I can't do this. I have way too many things to do that I'm like writing all these papers, thinking about the lesson plans I need to do and this. And I'm like, So for my own sanity, and to save myself from a massive panic attack, I had to figure out a way to bucket things. I would be like doctoral work, teacher work, housework, And then I was like, okay, how am I going to do all these things? And I realized morning was key. I needed to maximize my time in the morning. And we have a whole episode on morning routine, so you can go check that out. So I started blocking off times. And it started with, okay, I have this assignment done. I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to do this the next morning. And I really was only time blocking my morning work time. So I would wake up at 3, 4, whatever time I had to wake up at, and then plan out what I was going to do in that block of time. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got started. What about you? How'd you get started?
Well, for me, it was with teaching, because I was done with the bringing stuff home to work on it at home. Like, I did that my first couple of years, and I'm like, no.
No.
But then even I felt like, okay, well, if I'm not going to bring things home, then I need to, like, get to work early or stay late to work on things. But then I started being like, no, like, other people don't have to do that, like, for their job. So, like, why am I working outside of my contract time?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be time to do this. And so I started looking. Well, the other thing is when I moved job, like, because I got a different teaching job, and I was just blown away by, like, the amount of extra planning time that I got at this job. And I'm like, whoa, like, I have all this time. So I'm like, okay, this is my chance to, like, figure out how I can maximize my planning time that I'm being given so that I'm not just, like, wasting it, because it's very easy to do. So I would look at my week and know, like, when my larger blocks of time were, like, when I would get my full planning, like, 60 minutes. And then look at, again, making that to-do list of, like, what are all the things that need to be done in a week at school, and then just plugging that in to those planning times. And so that means that when that planning time would come, drop my kids off at their specials class or whatever, and then I'm not having to sit there thinking about, oh gosh, I have, like, a million things to do, like, I don't know what to even start on. Let me just go get a snack. Let me just go get some coffee, or, because it's that overwhelm feeling that then that makes you do nothing.
Yes.
And so
it's paralyzing.
It is paralyzing, because it's just, like, easier to just, like, not think about it, like, just numb yourself from it. And then you get nothing done. And so I was like, okay, well, if I plan ahead of time what things I'm going to get done during that planning time, then as soon as that planning time comes, oh, this is what I'm doing. I can just get started on it right away. I don't have to think about it. And I'm not having to, like we were talking about earlier, worry about all the other things because I already know, oh, no, I'm doing that tomorrow during that time.
Exactly.
And so that way, and then, you're not... When people know you're busy working your room, they're not going to come bother you.
Yeah.
But if you are just hanging out in, like, the teacher's lounge, microwaving your coffee, then that's how you get sucked into, I mean, and there's a time and a place to, like, socialize and, talk to adults during the day. But, like, I know, like, okay, I have stuff that I need to go do. I need to go back and work. And that's how I am getting to school at my contract time and leaving at my contract time.
Yes.
So that was huge for me.
I love that. I feel like we both had that, really spend hours outside of our contract time working. Especially when I was a teacher. Like, we both had that mentality.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, and we're passionate. And we love and when you love what you do, and it's easy to do it outside of your time. But, man, there is a balance, and I'm so glad that you've found that, because that's important. And that's what time blocking can really do. It's not just about being super productive and getting stuff done. It's also about making sure that you have time to do things that bring your heart joy. I know that sounds...
No, but like, seriously, building in that time for yourself, because, I think we both figured out pouring in all those extra hours, it would drain us. Yeah. And then I'm tired, and then I'm not going to be as on my game at teaching. And I'm like, so no, I found out it's actually best for me to not do any work at home. It's best for my students too, because then I'm more energized when I'm coming in. And honestly, doing that morning routine, which we talked about before, and getting some of those other things done in the morning is able to make me, like, really feel ready to do my job and do it well when I get to work.
I think time blocking was one of the things that made me realize how unhappy I was when I did resign from my position, because I was looking at my time and like seeing the time that I had to spend not doing what I loved to do and what I really wanted to do and what I knew could also be really great and bring a lot of opportunity. So I would look at my schedule and I'd be doing all these, and that one time block would just, it would make me have all these types of feelings. And I was like, So yeah, time blocking really helped me see what I loved doing. I saw that, the time that I got to spend writing in the morning, that's why I was able to wake up at 3-4 in the morning to do so, because I loved doing it. So I don't know, it really did kind of help me see what I want to be spending my time on.
So, well, I think it can feel overwhelming at first to time block your entire day, or I don't know, especially too if your spouse like sees it on your on your calendar, they're like, "What are you doing?
When do I get to talk to you?
Do you have time to text me back?" Or like, "No, okay." But I think if you just start with like maybe one part of your day, like I was only doing my planning period at work, or you were only doing your morning, you know, starting small. And then what's going to happen is you're like, oh, this really works. Where can I apply this in other parts of my day? And then next thing you know, you'll be like us and planning out every second of your day.
I love that. So pick the time of day that you're going to time block. Make your list.
Yes.
Categorize your list.
Color code if you're a page.
Yes. Find a fun way to track. Use Google
Make it
calendars.
fun.
Use a journal. However you want to do it, and just do it and see how awesome it is for you. Yes.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Until next time.
See ya.